I love the freedom of speech. And I think that that is wonderful. But I do think we need to mind like our minds, mind our words, mind how easy it is for us to really be, you know, hiding behind social media versus having real meaningful conversations. And so it's like this paradox. I love what is being said between people to share information. And I love, you know, everything is not all positivity on the planet. I get that. And so as we explore the topic today of, you know, growing pains and what that looks like, and trying to get outside of this overwhelm of the world and coming in and figuring out what ours is to do and to know and to be. So it's really about getting our minds right and getting a hold of ourselves, which I think is like, you know, such a key piece to us really affecting, you know, positive change. So as I am waiting for my homie to get on here, I guess I'll just keep going and talking about, you know, honestly, something that's obviously coming up in a big way. Hey, Christy Paul, girl, I was thinking about you yesterday and really excited just to see you on here this morning. So, hey, Alicia, good morning. So, you know, I did a podcast with my dad last weekend, and actually it was a while ago, but I released it for Father's Day. And Christy, we're trying to go live with you. Oh, she's coming in. There she is. Oh my God, technology, y'all. We are working our way through this technological world. So, good morning, darling. Coming in hot from, where are you?
Cincinnati, all the way.
We love our Midwest. So I was just telling everybody that as we were waiting for you, kind of what we're going to talk about today. And then we could circle back to the podcast with my dad at the end, so I can tell people that, you know, what's really near and dear to my heart. And shit, we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on the planet.
Yes, there is.
So,
yes. Hi, everyone. Thanks for your patience. All right. You want to hit overwhelm?
Yeah. So we're talking about what matters most. And, you know, we were talking, so what matters most is so many things. We have the world, and because we're in it, and there's so much going on and the frequency is so high, but we also have reality. We have real life. We have relationships. Christy is in Cincinnati at a family wedding, and that has its dynamics, and that can cause overwhelm. Being in your home all the time can cause overwhelm. Our to-do list can cause overwhelm. And so, I mean, you were telling me this morning, hey, Karen, you were telling me this morning how you couldn't find your computer cord, and you like lost your mind or didn't.
That's right. I was going to plug my computer in because it was dying, and I forgot it in Colorado. And instead of just kind of being normal about it, I pretty much had a small anxiety attack, bursted out in anger and impatience. And it was so unattractive and frustrating that, you know, my beautiful fiance had to leave the room because he knew this is not like the first time I've gotten caught up and overwhelmed. And the reality is, I'm okay. It's okay. But because I didn't have that moment of pause, and I didn't have that moment of, you know, breathing, probably everything that had, you know, been accumulating over the week all got channeled into that, you know, power cord moment, which is not the end of the world.
I love it. It's the power cord moment where you like decide about your power. I mean, you know, so do you think that there is, due to the nature of everything that's going on the planet, do you think that you are being affected by just like the frequency and the energy that's happening in the world, and we're taking that all in? Because like, sure, I mean, I feel like everyone on the planet has too much to do. Whether you have children or you don't have children, or you have a job or you don't have a job, if you have a life, you are overwhelmed, right? And so it's like, it doesn't matter what you have going on, and then compounding with everything that's happening on the planet from a pandemic, which apparently people have forgotten. And Alicia Mountain, I love this. This is my cousin, and she posts weekly about, hey, this is still happening and you need to be aware, and not to be fearful, but like be friggin' aware. And so we have a pandemic. We have absolute like uprising of people, which to the friggin' men, but that we have to have that. We have to have this all coming up. Do you think that this is affecting us in our, personal lives at home and the power cord moment?
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about how this is a growing pain for all of us. And, things have to come to the surface. And when issues come to the surface, they're not always pretty. Like, let's say you have a pimple and you start picking at it, which we are picking at these issues, and it gets bigger and uglier until you just let it go. And, sometimes it resolves itself, and other times it really takes some band-aiding, or looking at what caused it in the first place. And from my power cord moment, I was not present at all. I felt I was trying to get something done. I wanted it to be perfect. That's not reality either. And it all came to a head. And, a part of it was that I was exhausted, and so many people are running around exhausted, which means your own power cord is weak. Yeah. And you gotta hit that recharge button. And, that's why today, I'm recharged today. That's why the power cord issue is not such a big deal, because I'm rebooted.
Because you said, I can go to Best Buy. Oh shit. Like, there's a solution, and it's $50. But it's never about the power cord, right? It's never about the power cord. It's really about like all the other stuff. Hey, Lindsay, it's always about the other stuff that's really underlying. And so how do we get a hold of ourselves or not? Like, here's the thing. You freaked out. Who actually cares? I mean, as long as you're not inflicting pain upon other people, but it's like giving yourself grace to like lose your mind. And, Christy Paul's still on here. She has Urban Sanctuary, I believe Urban Meditation in Indianapolis, which is all about like getting your mind right. And she has so many layers. And so, we will hit how important like having your personal moment, even if it's 5 minutes, is so important. And also giving ourselves the grace to like lose our damn minds and then reconnect the power cord, right?
Exactly. The principle here is whatever you put your attention on grows. So if you put your attention on grace, patience, love, forgiveness, joy, being happy, then that is your reality more and more, and things will get shifted and bumped around, but you'll come back to whatever you put your attention on grows. And if I had my attention on the power cord still, it would be a very different morning, because it's like, are we putting our attention on things about growth, happiness, protection, how can we serve, or are we waking up and turning the news on, which gives us absolutely no control, and we feel helpless and maybe fearful?
I'd take a deep breath on that one. I mean, and that you bring up a good point. So what you tune into is what your attention is on, and what creates the frequency for your life. I'm not saying don't watch the news. Get your news however you need to. This is your life. I'm not trying to prescribe anything, because I'm trying to do what I can do to manage myself, to be honest with you. However, when you tune into the news or watch a show that's like scary or negative, that frequency goes into you. There's no way around that. It's the same as the people that you choose to hang out with. If you hang out with people who are negative and nasty and mean and ugly, you bring that frequency in, even if you're trying to shift a consciousness in a room, in a space, and all of those things. So you have to really mind the choices that you are making about the things that you are doing and thinking. And so just like even watching those thoughts, not to judge yourself, but to decide if you feel good about that. I mean, if I watch the news right now, I'm afraid to go anywhere. I'm afraid to do anything. I'm scared of people, white, black, purple, and green, because I don't know what you're going to come after me with. You know, so that's all about fear. And fear is a fucking lie. Excuse my not French. I'm fed up with the fear. Like, it's starting to really piss me off. So I'm dialed into the frequency of people living in fear. Can I change them? No, I've got to change myself. But I've got to own my own anger around some shit, because I have been over the bullshit for a really long time. And it's not just about like racial stuff or, you know, the government or whatever, but it's like, what matters most? And so me pulling myself back in to ask myself a question of just what matters most. We have a question from Lindsay, a dear friend. She said, what if your attention keeps going back to the same thought, something that needs to change? Should that be ignored? Christy, this is a good question for you. And just curious to differentiate between attention and your own intuition. Lindsay, girl, been deep since the Jazz Kitchen, sister. Yes. Christy, what do you think? So
yes, I think, you know, there's a difference between habits and free will, right? I was telling Andrea that it's my habit to constantly say, I don't have time. I got to exercise today. I don't have time. I need to do this errand. Oh, I don't have time. I need to make more money. Oh, I don't have time. That is my attention in a negative feedback loop. It is taking monumental effort for me to even catch it, but it is how I am shifting my attention, because you got to recognize it first, what you're doing, loving, and then you got to have the power and intention to shift it. But if you don't catch it, and you are, then you can't do anything about it. That's when you're a victim. And since you are catching it, and we are catching it, and I am catching it, that's when we have the grace, power, and wisdom to use our intuition and to change our thought and attention and attitudes so we can live in a different reality, which is, let's be happy.
Let's be happy. So, question for you. Okay, so we're in the feedback loop of something that's positive or negative, because those things then create seeds, and that's a frequency. And so we are in there. So we could be addicted to the high of the negative or addicted to the high of the positive. I like the other one. I like the positive. So, okay, I keep thinking over and over and over, I don't have enough. I don't have enough time. So back to I don't have enough time. And so then I've caught myself, right? So so Lindsay, you're obviously aware that you're having the thought. So once you catch yourself, pause, right, Christy? So stop, take a deep breath, and then decide what it is that you want to create to reprogram that thought of whatever, I don't have time, for example. So we stop to reprogram that. And then every time we catch ourselves, we stop and we reprogram. And that could be something that I think that, like, in your morning meditation or your afternoon meditation, or you don't have to call it a meditation. You can call it a moment of pause. Stop and think about what you do want. So if something needs to change in your life, you're asking the question. So the answer is there is something that is asking for a shift and a change. That is your soul speaking to you. And that, my friend, is your intuition. And specifically to Lindsay, because apparently this turned into Miss Cleo right now, because I know you are a very intuitive person, and being still and grounding yourself into the earth and into yourself, you already have your answer. You already know. And that's for all of us. Like, we already actually have all the answers we need, because I mean, all of these spiritual leaders, as we all actually are, if we decide to be in that space, we have every single thing we need right here and right now. There is nothing outside of us, because we were coded with what we need before we got up in this body upon this earth.
I love this. You know, as you were downloading and channeling beautifully like you do, reminded me that the mind has created a problem, and it can't fix it. We've got to get above the mind, which is where the intuition and the love and the soulfulness comes in, because the mind created the problem. It tries all these different ways to fix it, but it truly is not the fixer. Our soul is the fixer. Our love is the fixer. Our pause and that intention above the mind, which can get through if you just silence yourself, is the fixer. And where there's so much noise, is that silence which you will hear the answer or the resolution or the next step in.
I love that. I love the idea too, along with that. We only have 1 minute left and then we're going to go over to the podcast. So we'll have more on this later, but is surrender. So I don't care what you believe. This is not about religion. This is not about whatever. I mean, it's always about spirit for me because it's energy. It's what created us. It's where we came from. But if we can find the ability, once we go through this process that Christy's talking about, that pause, that reprogram, that shift, and in that of like, okay, what do I want to create? In that pause, if we have the presence of mind and want to, if we can give that up to whatever, the air, the sun, the sky, you can call it God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, Buddha, I don't care. But if you can find a way, as you said, to rise above that and to give it up, to surrender it, don't hold that shit. Do not. Like, you are meant to be clear, a clear channel to do your work and to live your purpose. Like right now, more than ever in life, you have a purpose. You came here with a purpose. You are called to your purpose. And this is just a clearing. And you said something earlier that we were talking about, which was, if you're not laughing, you're making the world too real. And the thing is that we get to create our reality. It does not matter what's going on outside of us. And I'm saying that from a real, like, I get that there's a lot going on, but if we do not create the peace within, there cannot be peace without. We are the answer. We are the light. So if we are not being that, if we are distracted by a bunch of crap that is not real, then we aren't doing our work. So decide the world you want to live in. Decide what you want to be, and let's focus our attention on that. And just one last piece, because now we're a minute over, but I have to state that this whole, like, what matters most, including Black lives, all lives, I love all of this for everybody. And I understand from a lot of people that there's discourse because we're fighting now about all lives. We're fighting now about Black lives. We're fighting again. We are caught in the cycle of distraction. Stop being distraction by a fucking hashtag and get on with your work. It doesn't matter. Everybody matters. Black, white, purple, green. We all matter. Black matters. I love it. It's wonderful. Get on your track. Stop friggin' fighting about stuff that doesn't matter and get on with your work. Love yourself. Love each other. I am obviously super passionate about it, but because I am just like, we have to have a change and we have to be that change. And that's what this is all about. These are growing pains. This is what matters most. I'll let you take us on out and over to the podcast because we've run way too long, but I had to get that out because it's like enough already.
Well, I love that. There's nothing I want to add. It's beautiful. Practice this. This doesn't happen overnight. This takes a lifetime, and you've got a lifetime. So make it count. Be present. Catch yourself. Pause and recreate your reality by enjoying it, participating in it, and don't escape and get distracted by the non-reality.
Oh, you're so good. I love you. I'll see you over on the podcast. We love all of you. Thank you for being here. And next week, hopefully I've gotten out my big push. So we'll move on to something else. But keep changing. Keep loving yourselves. Be still and know that you are the light.
Absolutely. Big love all. Mwah.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I kept dropping the F-bomb, but I'm like so obviously pissed.
Oh my God. I couldn't hear you. But the feedback, so the Facebook Live was 20 seconds behind the Zoom. Can you hear me?
Oh, you were getting you were getting the feedback.
Oh my God. So this was like 20 seconds ahead of the Facebook Live, and it was like, oh my God, this is too much. So I had to turn off the Zoom, and because I was hearing the same conversation twice and
Oh
not
my God.
tried.
Well, I pardon my F-bomb. I just like could not. I'm like, my husband's going to be like, you're going to need to dial it back. I mean, I know I'm going to get he's going to censor me, but I'm over it. And I have anger about it, obviously, that I needed to get out, but I'm just like, enough. So.
Well, you know what they say, people who swear are more believable than the people who just come, in their little mechanical, presentation. I mean, that was passion and that was real and it was believable because of that. And the F-bomb wasn't even about the F-bomb. It was about being real.
Well, I'll do my best to
You tell your
monitor.
husband, people want to see real, and every once in a while, not all the time, but every once in a while, F-bomb gets their attention and creates trust.
Well, we'll see what happens. We see what happens. Hopefully that I saved it over to IGTV. Hopefully it's processing.
I thought that was really good. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought it was good too. I really liked our topic today.
Me too.
Because I think it like really, I think it went where it needed to go,
And if we're not talking about this stuff, people think that we're probably just living in a bubble, and we're not, but absolutely we're walking our talk, which is creating our own reality, which means we can go into it and we can get out of it and we can get above it.
Yes. I mean, that went for like 20, let's see, 18, 23 minutes. So I don't think we need to even like continue that part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And here's the other piece for me. Like, I need to like just own my shit and like not apologize unless, unless I've done something, whatever. So I'm just going to own it and be thankful for that release. And thank you for sharing that space. I love you. I really do. And I love that you have so much wisdom, and it's also very ethereal. And so I love just your perspective and how, you answered that question for Lindsay, and, because that's to me, that's the stuff that matters most. Like that. I mean, you're talking about a feedback loop, and you're talking about what's in there and what we're doing, and really how people can rise above.
And we're just stuck in these habits. And, my habit of, I don't have time to exercise or do this or do that. It's like, that's my mechanical mind. That's my robot. And it's not real. It's not the real part of me. It's just the robotic part of me. And it's so easy to pay attention to because it's easy. It doesn't take any effort to listen to the old message. Put the record player on.
Girl, it does not take any. It's we gotta. I do believe we're doing it. Like we're alive, and this is the journey. And so that's the other piece where it's like, this is the journey. However, wake the fuck up.
Yeah. And don't blame it on, you can't get your stuff done because there's this going on in the world. This is a warring universe. Luckily it's not as bad as it has been in the past, but if we really wanted to, I bet we could find amazing, beautiful, incredible healing things going on in the world, but they're not making the news. So we don't know they're going on. So we're just, we're almost mechanical about what we put our attention on versus seeking something that's actually really positive and energizing.
Ooh, that brought up a spark to thought. what if we find like a couple of good things that are happening each week?
Yes. I love that idea because people need to get shook out of this. Like, look at this, you know, person who's doing this and this company that's doing that or whatever. But let's find some good news and say, you know, stuff, you know, for this much bad to be happening, there has to be an equal amount of good to be going on because this universe lives in balance. And right now it looks like it's bad because that's all we're really seeing, but it can't live it can't live over here. It has to be like this, right? All the time.
I love that. I'm going to make a little graphic that says something like, you know, look for the good, you'll find it, or something.
And I know I'll ask a friend of mine. I know there's websites because she's told me that she goes to them for good news. That they
I love that.
Put the good news on.
The guy he was on The Office, and now he's on like a Netflix Prime, not Netflix, I'm crossing him, Amazon Prime show. And he's married to the new Mary Poppins. What's her name? She's so cute and pretty, the English woman.
Oh,
hi, sexy.
Hey, I'm on the wedding maintenance crew. We're out measuring, getting tables delivered, trying to prepare if it rains, how to tarp the dining area quickly. So everybody's got, I'm driving the project is what I'm saying.
You're so good. Systems, brother.
Crew.
You are so good.
Oh, you guys are so cute. Maybe you guys should
so
just get
nice.
married
Oh my
tomorrow
gosh, did you
too.
go outside and show her the house from down in the
Oh
house?
no, I'll show you. He's the one who helped wake me up out of my bad mood because he had to leave the room because I was like, well.
I'm like,
That's
I'm not
good.
taking a walk.
Great. It was good. It woke me up. I'm like,
it woke you up.
leaving.
You're like, oh wait, I'm having a tantrum, and he doesn't want to be a part of it.
Yes, I'm not going to get any attention for this bad behavior.
I know. He's like, we're actually good.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love
That's not going to keep me around. I'm going to flip my camera.
I love it. I love it.
I'm going to
That is
flip
so
this
good.
around. So I don't know how to flip it around. I was going to show, well, maybe I'll just do it this way.
Yeah. That's a beautiful yard. Did you guys rent this place, or is this someone your brother knows?
This is Sarah's parents' house.
Lovely. That is beautiful.
Turn my phone around.
Holy shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It is.
And this is your brother, from your mother.
Yes, yes. I'll show you down here. This is like fucking a little out of
Is
control.
she there yet?
So they have their own home about 15 minutes away. Oh yeah, my mom's here.
Yeah.
And she said to say hi. She was like, "Is that Andrea?" I said, "Yes."
She is so wonderful.
She loves you, and that summit that she came to last year, it blew her mind.
Oh my God, your mom! I'm so glad you're with her. How's she been doing?
I think she feels better than ever. She just retired.
Amen.
Yes. And she literally looks the best I've ever seen her. She just like, we tan really easily, so she looks all tan and healthy, and her hair has like, it's all silver and gorgeous. And
where is she from? Because when I was looking at you last week, I was getting this feeling about you looking like the gypsies that we saw in Italy.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like this Mediterranean. You have a very Mediterranean, but like this mix of like Native American.
There's a little Native American in us. Mostly I think we're half Irish, half German. Like the Black Irish, we're
Yeah,
not.
my friend Kathleen, not Seed System, Sandra Grace, she's Black Irish.